Hi everybody, welcome back to the Film Fan Club. Sam Carrico here. With Blade Runner 2049 hitting theaters this weekend, I figured it'd be appropriate for me to watch the first movie, Blade Runner, for the very first time. So here's my throwback review. Now, the version that I chose to watch for my first encounter with Blade Runner was actually, ironically, the final cut. But the reason that I chose it over some of the other 4 or 5 versions of the film that are on home media available was because this version of the film was known as Ridley Scott's definitive take on the movie. It's the way that the director envisioned it to be consumed by audiences, so I figured that would do it for me. This version excludes some narration from Harrison Ford that's present throughout the theatrical cut of the film, and it also leaves the ending of the film a little bit more ambiguous. And from what I've gathered, it seems like this final cut really serves the film well. Blade Runner is about Rick Deckard, Harrison Ford's character, who is basically like a bounty hunter policeman known as a Blade Runner, who he's in charge of, or he's one of the people in charge of hunting down and retiring, i.e. killing, these replicants, which are these very high-tech androids. This is set in 2019 Los Angeles, very futuristic, of course, given that this film came out in 1982 originally. It seems like a very simple plot, but Harrison Ford and Ridley Scott and Rutger Hauer, the people involved in making this film, I feel like are able to take it to the next level, and that's what I loved about this film. With the inclusion of replicants and artificial humanity, it raises all these questions about what it means to be human. There's a kind of a relationship, a unique kind of chemistry between Deckard and this Rachael character, and the way that it, among other things, are developed is just, it's very well done in this film. There are so many different kind of layers to it. There's certain themes that are examined in very cool ways. There's a couple of themes, the idea of whether or not how much humanity you really need to be human, certain things along that line that I feel like could have been explored just a little bit more. Hopefully the sequel will get into that a little bit, but really this film, the plot was just so intriguing. It never really slowed down. The villains, it's really interesting to say that they're villains because you kind of almost begin to understand their motives. They just are, the replicants in this film only live about 4 years max, so the bad guys are trying to extend their life, and as they get closer to the end of their life cycle, they become more and more desperate to kind of figure out how to just survive simply. Rutger Hauer, who plays the main replicant villain in this film, has a really cool role. This is the best that I've ever seen that actor, especially towards the end. There's just so much that's iconic about this film. I can't believe that I've never seen it before. It seems like it's such a it should have such a larger impact on pop culture than it currently seems to have. We're just now getting a sequel like 30 years after the first movie came out, but I'm so happy that we're getting a sequel because this film, this final cut of Blade Runner, it was everything that I wanted to see in an awesome sci-fi action film. This is gonna shoot up to one of my most iconic Harrison Ford performances, right up there with Indiana Jones and Han Solo, because this was such a cool film. And we've seen what George Lucas does with futuristic sci-fi. We've kind of seen a little bit of Ridley Scott's vision for that with Alien, but in this film, the way that Los Angeles, Chinatown is presented all futuristic, the whole set and the whole look of this film is just beautiful. And like I've said, the story is so thick, but I never felt like I was really lost in it, and that's something I was worried about, knowing that there would not be any narration to kind of guide me through the film. I feel like this is all really well realized, especially in this final cut. I almost don't want to watch any other version of the film because I feel like this was so well done here. Again, this is not a perfect film. There's a couple areas where I feel like it could have been improved upon. Hopefully it will be in the sequel. But this was just a fantastic first encounter that I had with Blade Runner. What a great movie. I'm going to go ahead and give it 8.5 out of 10. Well, thanks for checking this video out, guys. If you liked it, make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel for more content like this. We got a lot of other videos up on the channel right now. Just did a brand new movie news dump talking about Avatar 2, and I'm going to be reviewing the new Blade Runner movie coming out this weekend, so make sure you're subscribed for that. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram as well while you're at it, at Samuel D. Carrico, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks again.